So, what is autism? Well, it's really about thinking in a different way. Autism is not a disease. It's a different way of thinking and seeing the world. My mind works like a search engine for pictures. When someone says a word, I see a series of images, not the word itself. For many autistic people, the brain is wired differently. We process information from our senses, what we see, what we hear, what we feel. Some sounds feel too loud, like a microphone turned up. Some lights seem too bright, like staring into the sun. Not a defect, but a variation in the brain's operating system. It's always been part of the human experience. This wiring affects how we communicate and interact. Social rules that are obvious to most can feel like a foreign language. I learned social skills through logic, like learning a computer program. It did not come naturally. If you say, "It's raining cats and dogs," my brain might picture real cats and dogs falling. This isn't lack of intelligence. Our brains follow a direct, logical path. We're concrete thinkers in an abstract world full of hidden meanings. The autism spectrum is wide. Every autistic person is different, just like every non-autistic person is different. Autism is part of who someone is. You can't separate the person from the autism, like a painter from their way of seeing color. What others see as limitations can be strengths. When children are autistic, the signs can often be seen early. One of the first things parents might notice is a difference in communication. They might not respond to their name being called, not because they are ignoring you, but because the sound gets lost among all the other sensory information coming into their brain. They might also have delayed speech, or they might learn to talk, but use words in unusual ways, like repeating phrases they heard on television. This is called echolalia. It's their way of practicing language. A non-autistic child will often engage in pretend play, like feeding a doll, flying a toy airplane. An autistic child might prefer to line up their toys in a perfect row over and over again. This is not a lack of imagination. It's their way of creating order in a world that feels very chaotic and unpredictable. They might play alongside other children rather than with them. Repetitive behaviors and routines are very important for an autistic child. They need sameness to feel safe. This might mean eating the exact same food for breakfast every single day, needing to take the exact same route to the store. A small change can cause great distress, like a different brand of cereal or a closed road. This is not a tantrum to get their way. It's a genuine reaction of panic because their predictable, safe world has been disrupted. The scratchy tag on a shirt can feel like sandpaper rubbing on their skin. The hum of a refrigerator can sound like a loud engine. The texture of certain foods can make them feel sick. They're not being difficult. Their sensory system is on high alert, and these sensations are genuinely painful or unbearable to them. Understanding this is key. Providing soft clothing, a quiet space, foods with textures they can tolerate makes a world of difference. These routines are like an anchor in a stormy sea of sensory overload. They help the child feel grounded and in control when everything else feels overwhelming and confusing. When an autistic person becomes an adult, the signs do not just disappear. They change, and they often become more hidden. Many adults with autism have spent their entire lives learning to mask or camouflage their autistic traits to fit in. This is like wearing a heavy costume all day, every day. It's exhausting. An autistic adult might force themselves to make eye contact even though it feels intensely uncomfortable. They might practice scripts for small talk or social situations, grocery store, work. This constant performance takes a huge amount of mental energy and can lead to burnout. Social challenges continue into adulthood, but often look different. An autistic adult might struggle with the unwritten rules of the workplace or the complexities of romantic relationships. They might be seen as blunt or too direct because they speak honestly and do not naturally sugarcoat their words. I have always been very direct. This can be misunderstood as being rude, but it is really just a different communication style that prioritizes clarity over social niceties. Many autistic adults find comfort and success by focusing on their intense special interests. Dinosaurs, trains, these can evolve into a career. This is a great strength. Computer programming, engineering, music, art. My intense interest in cattle led to my entire career. These deep interests provide a sense of purpose, joy, and relief from the stresses of social interaction. However, daily life for an autistic adult can be filled with practical challenges. managing finances, organizing a household, scheduling appointments require executive functioning skills that can be difficult for us. We might struggle to keep a job not because we are bad at the work, but because we find the sensory environment of the office unbearable or the social demands too draining. Many autistic adults experience anxiety and depression as a result of the constant struggle to navigate a world that was not designed for them. Comparing the daily life of an autistic child to that of an autistic adult shows how challenges evolve over time. For a child, the world is often structured by parents and teachers. Their daily struggles might center on the classroom environment, the playground, the dinner table. A child's meltdown might happen because the school bell is just too loud or because another child took their toy. Their world is smaller and more controlled. The main goal for adults is to create a supportive environment, provide speech therapy, provide occupational therapy, help them learn essential life skills. Their success is often measured by developmental milestones. For an autistic adult, the world becomes much bigger and a lot less structured. The scaffolding of school and family support often falls away. They are expected to navigate life independently. The challenges are now about finding and keeping a job, managing a budget, maintaining a home, building adult relationships. A meltdown for an adult might be triggered by a sudden change in a work project, a crowded supermarket, or a misunderstanding with a landlord. The consequences are often more severe. It can lead to losing a job or an apartment. The focus shifts from learning to talk to learning how to advocate for oneself in a complex world. The nature of social interaction also changes dramatically. A child might be seen as shy or quirky for playing alone. An adult who struggles with social cues might be labeled strange, labeled unfriendly, labeled incompetent. The pressure to conform is immense. A child's friendships are often based on shared activities. Adult relationships require deep emotional understanding and communication. But when that person turns 18 or 21, many of those services disappear overnight. The autistic adult is often left on their own to find support. They have to seek out therapists who understand adult autism. The support is less available and harder to find, yet the need is just as great, if not greater. As an autistic person grows up, their needs for support change, but the need itself, well, it never really goes away. For a child, support is often focused on building foundational skills. This includes things like occupational therapy to help with sensory issues, speech therapy to help with communication, and social skills groups. The goal is to give the child the tools they need to function in school and at home. This support is crucial. It's like building the foundation of a house. Without a strong foundation, the rest of the structure just will not be stable. As that child becomes a teenager and then a young adult, the focus of support must shift. It moves from basic skills to practical life applications. The support needed now might be job coaching to help them succeed in a workplace. It might be counseling to help them cope with anxiety and depression. It could be learning how to manage money, how to cook, or how to use public transportation. For me, mentors were essential. I had a science teacher who saw my potential and encouraged my interests. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that an autistic person who is high-functioning or intelligent does not need support. This is completely wrong. An autistic professor might be a genius in their field but need help organizing their schedule or remembering to pay their bills. An autistic artist might create beautiful work but need someone to help them manage the business side of selling their art. Support for adults should be tailored to the individual's specific challenges. It is not about hand-holding. It is about providing the right tools and accommodations so that we can be independent and successful on our own terms. Ultimately, the most important thing for autistic people of all ages is understanding and kindness. We need to move away from the idea of curing autism and toward a goal of supporting autistic people. The world is a better place with all kinds of minds in it. We need the logical, detail-oriented thinking of autistic people to solve problems. We need to create schools, workplaces, and communities that are more accepting of neurological differences. See the person, not the label. Recognize their strengths. Provide help where it is needed. A little bit of understanding makes a very big difference in our lives, whether we are 6 or 60.